Hello fellow YouTube denizens, David Storm here with Picklocks.com, and I'm holding my prototype for the Swick, the Swiss Army knife of picks, and I wanted to go over some details on this pick and what makes it a little different than anything else out there on the market. Let's start with tension wrenches. First of all, as you can see, we have a flat style tension tool on the side, which is held in place by two neodymium magnets, and that is pretty strong. It's definitely in there. You're not going to be knocking that out in your pocket. So as you can see, it takes a bit to get that out of there, and you have a little recess right there to pull that out. So if you're having a portable pick, you don't have to compromise. You have that now in this portable pick, a nice flat style top of the keyway tension wrench. Then all the other tension wrenches out there, I'm not going to name names, but there's only two on the market that is really good, and both of those have tension tools that go across the top here. And while I used those for many years, it frustrated me. They fell out. They were shorter than normal, and they had a bend in it. So these were custom style tension tools, and I wanted something that came straight out of my kit. So let's take a look. What we have here is the ability to store full-size, regular style tension tools. These are not modified in any way. These are straight out of a standard set of picks. And there they are, full size. In fact, there's 4 of them in there. You can store 4 standard style tension tools. So you can see these have a slightly shorter tip to them, and there's one more in there, short style. Now you could also store things in there like the control to pick control locks. So you could store this style end in there as well, and put that in there. You could put wider tension wrenches. So I have a nice wide one here somewhere. Where is that? So you could put a wide tension tool in there. It will accept a wide style tension tool. So a lot of options with this. And I also integrated, if you look in the end there, a little hidden compartment. So that hidden compartment can store things like my shims that I use for decoding the Master 175 padlocks. And you'll see there's something else in there as well. If we give that a little tap, we can get it out. And that is a nice broken key extractor. I would store 2 of these in there, and there is enough room to store 2 side by side along with the shims. You can see how much room is available in there. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Let me get a flashlight. We can point it down in there. You can see how much room that little hidden area has. And once you put your tension wrenches in, those tension wrenches go right over it and keeps them from coming out. So it locks anything that's in that secret compartment in there. So let's go ahead and take these tension tools out. So the tension tools are standard tension tools. That's really nice. So we have this flat tension tool as well. And the next thing that makes this unique is the length. The length of this is longer than any of the other tools out there, the small jackknives. So that allows you to put this into your hand when you're doing lifter picking, much like you would a standard size pick. Speaking of which, another problem I had with the other jackknives that were on the market is that the picks were shorter. They were shorter here, which means they didn't stick out very far on the end, and I did actually run into problems when I was picking some locks, such as this Master 6121, because it's very deeply recessed. But as you can see with my tools, I'm actually hitting the back wall, and I still have a lot of play left in this pick. It's very thin profile, so it has a longer neck. If you like having your finger here or under here, I think you'll find that's quite nice, as well as I've beveled the edges here, and so holding it this way is quite comfortable as well. And we're going to be showing, we're going to be using this pick right here on a Schlage 6-pin lock in a moment with serrated pins. But I wanted to show you some of the tools that are inside here first. There are 12, count them, 12 picks inside this jackknife, instead of the normal 5 or 7 that come in the other jackknives out there. So this one is one that I've designed, and I call that the Jabberwocky, or the Jabberwock, and that has 3 mountains on a bit of a DeForest style bend. And what makes this unique is this is specifically designed for padlocks. If you look at the distance between the tips here on this pick, you'll see that is the distance that is correct for regular mortise style quick set Schlage, not padlocks. That's the depth. But I've shortened it here, and this is actually specifically designed for padlocks. Now it will work in other locks, but this is the distance in between here is the distance of the pins in a padlock, from pin to pin. So that's specifically designed for that. And this one is a shorter version of that, 2 instead of 3, and I call that Jabberwock Jr. And you'll see some of the familiar cutaway diamond designs there. DeForest pick right here with very thin profiling, a long rake. I have 2 lifter picks in here, a Euro style and a standard style. There's a DeForest right there that has a ball tip to it, a Euro style diamond pick, and this pick right here is very much like the double diamond picks, except one of the problems I always had with the double diamond, I'm pulling out a double diamond right now, the double diamond had a fatal flaw, and that fatal flaw was that the back was cut out. Now I have no idea, I mean, I guess you could use that as a lifter pick, but I never did, because for one thing, if you look closely, right here is a very thin area on that pick, and that's where it always failed. That's always snapped off right there. And so putting any kind of pressure on the tip would have just exacerbated that. So we used to call that the batarang because it looked a lot like a batarang. But I've redesigned that so that we get rid of that cutaway in the back, making this a much more stable pick. But as you can see, it's exactly the same in every way, except for the fact that it's not cut away in the back. So very low profile again along the neck, and a kind of a modified city rake there, almost like a Bogota, between a Bogota and a city rake, and another small diamond with very thin Euro style profiling here. These are all 20 thousandths, and so they'll really get into those restricted keyways and hard to reach areas. So let's, oh, another thing. Yes, the way that you select your picks. You'll notice there is no locking mechanism here, nor is there any kind of locking mechanism along the bottom. Those could unscrew at times and be lost or be difficult to get back on. On one of them, the screw on the bottom always came loose in your pocket or elsewhere, and you lost it, making the tool pretty much unusable. if you look down in the bottom, that is a spring, a flat spring that interacts with these picks. It's very stiff. And to utilize one of these, you just pull them all out at the same time. And we're going to choose this lifter pick right there. You lay the lifter pick down and then bring the other tools over and lock them down. That locks this tool in place. The spring pressure coming up against the bottom of it locks it in place. It's nice and solid, isn't going to go anywhere. And now we're ready to pick our lock. So I'm going to bring in our lock here. It's a Schlage cutaway, and you'll see that it does have 6 pins, and it has serrated pins in it. So we're going to use the tension tool, flat tension tool from our kit, put it in the top, and we're using the lifter pick from the Swick. We're going to go in and we'll find our first binder. Again, these are 20 thousandths, so they fit very nicely into this Schlage. There's our first binder in the back. Go ahead and lift him up. And another binder. You can hear that. This has a really good response because that spring is so strong in there holding those pins up that you get a really good response and feel from the tip of this pick. I'm really pleased with the response on this. So we've almost got it. Looks like we got a couple more here. There was that one. And I think we got to get this back one here. All right. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. The 6-pin Schlage with spool or serrated pins. So I thought that was a fair challenge for this this pick. It's not a Medico or an Abloy or an Avis, but it gives you an idea of what this pick can do. And when you're done, you just lay it, just snaps over and lays back in place, and your tension tools slide right into the back, snap into place. Another thing about this, it is not coming out of there. Once you can hear the snap on these tension tools as they go in, and that is very solid. Now I'm going to show you in a moment here what I mean by that. In fact, getting them out is not a chore, but by no means super easy to pop those out of there. That's why we have that little side piece right here to lift these up. So let me get this one back in. Just push that down, find out which one it is. I can't see how many there are in each side. Let's take this one out. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so we'll just slide that in, put the short end in first. There we are. And then this one goes right along top, snaps into place. Maybe. There we are. Just like that. And you can see how difficult that was to get that in there, so they're definitely not coming out on you. So just raise those up, pops right out. You use your thumbnail. I don't have much of a thumbnail, so you don't need much, but you do need a little something. I guess otherwise you could take this and you could use that to go underneath those and pry them up and out of there. But shouldn't have much of a problem if you have a little bit of a nail. So that is our Swick. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy seeing this. This will be going up hopefully on Kickstarter very soon. I'm looking at maybe January 10th. And if you have any comments, please let me know what you would like to see in this. Obviously that little hidden area can carry a lot of different things that are small, like these shims. You could even store other style little flat turning tools in there for doing multi-lock style, dimple style locks. You could even put small handcuff keys in there that are tubular style. Just drop them down in there. So there's a lot of possibilities with this little kit, and I really love this little kit. I'm glad it came out the way it did. And again, 12 picks inside there, and all one-piece construction, nothing really to lose. And I hope you enjoyed it. So let me know what you think about this tool and how I could maybe make it better. And we'll see what we can do to accommodate you. Again, this is a 3D printed model, a prototype, but we will be having the, when we go on Kickstarter, if we get our funding, we will have this cast and have a nice mold made for it for injection molding. And this should be a really nice kit. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks so much. For Picklocks.com, I'm David Storm.